Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Holin None Podcast. I'm here with my two colleagues here, Mr. Shanky Watts. How's it going?
Yeah, good mate.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good mate.
Mr. Hayden High Tees, teeing it up as high as ever. What's going on?
Yep, pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Got a lot to get through this week. Had Wells Fargo finish with a new winner. We managed to crown a first-time PGA winner, which was great. We've got some comments from Rory that we're going to have a look at. Everyone's been eagerly awaiting what he had to say. We've got a bit of Ram watch, but we're going to start this one off with a bit of normal or nah. So what we're going to do here is Simon's going to tell us something that he does that he thinks is normal, and Mr. High Tees and I are going to decide whether that's normal or not. So over to you, Shanky.
I can't wait for this.
Well, we had a chat. We had a little chat about this before because I have a bucket of these. So did you? I need you guys to pick it because I can go with a ton. But do you want the one about bathrooms or do you want the one about eggs?
I definitely want to hear the one about eggs because we had this conversation, but we stopped it for this reason, right? So I definitely want to hear the eggs one, but the bathroom one sounds interesting. So let's have a bit of both.
I want to know.
I gotta save.
Oh, you gotta save?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not giving you everything.
We're only
we need
doing,
some secrets in this relationship.
This is the Simon show for this one, so maybe give us one or two today so we can get it done. Otherwise, we'll see. Unless we can think of one for ourselves, but. Hit us with your eggs.
Hit us with the eggs. Let's go.
Okay. Well, the eggs one, I don't think it's that not normal. I know people do it. So I make, any kind of egg. It can be scrambled or fried or whatever. But especially when it's scrambled, and I honestly don't eat scrambled eggs any other way. A little salt and pepper on top. Just a little, probably maybe a little hot sauce. And then I like to put ketchup on my eggs, especially scrambled.
I think that's
I've got
like an American thing, right? Because it's not. I don't think it's an Australian thing, is it?
Well, Kirsten doesn't do it.
Well, ketchup is obviously an American thing, but what do you think, Hayden?
Yeah, I've done that before, and I didn't even think whether, no, I wasn't shown it. I was just sometimes scrambled eggs are just you need something maybe a bit more liquidy to help the situation. But I have also eaten them without it. So yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go definitely.
Normal.
Normal
Yeah,
for me.
I'm a big hot sauce guy on top of my eggs. I always have sriracha. I can't have scrambled eggs without it these days.
Well, back that up because I think hot sauce is very normal on eggs. I think that's very normal. I think where it gets weird is the ketchup. I think I get looks. People think, you can't do that. That's disgusting. It's like putting ketchup on pizza. Like people tell me that's, it's a no-go. I don't do that, by the way. But
well, think about it though, because it's a McDonald's thing because of the the bacon and egg McMuffin, right? It's got ketchup on it, so maybe they invented it. Maybe it's their fault.
Yeah.
Does it come with it, or do you have to ask for it?
I think it comes. Ooh.
Because when I get a sausage McMuffin, I gotta ask for tomato sauce.
You do that too. That's not normal.
Why not?
I don't know. I think
it's too dry otherwise. Have you had a sausage McMuffin?
Yeah, I remember the day that you did that.
So
and I was
dry.
Like, that's not normal. Yeah, because it's a. I think to me, changing McDonald's burgers is just not normal in general.
But a sausage, you'd put ketchup on. I don't understand why that's weird.
I'm all for taking things off burgers, but I've never ever in my life got them to add something.
Yeah, you're right. What do you take off burgers, Hayden?
No, hear me out. I don't want to digress too much, but you know like fancy pickles that when you eat them like apples, like crispy and beautiful, and McDonald's ones are like fucking. I'm sorry, they're like saggy, terrible things. That's not even a pickle in my eyes.
No.
If you go to a nice barbecue place and you get their pickles, it's almost like a green apple, right? It's crispy and beautiful. McDonald's
you like the crunch. Is that what you're saying?
I like spoke pickles.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pickles.
No bespoke.
We're gonna pickle them and then smoke them. I like it. I like pickles in general though, but yeah, you're right. All right, so you got two normals there, which was honestly, I think you would have been 10-1 to get two normals on your first normal now. That's a good job there, Shanky. Do you want to hit us with another one just to make sure that you're not actually normal?
Nah, you'll get it. You'll get it another time. Not gonna happen.
All right, we'll have to wait till next week to
survive this round.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
you've
this
survived.
is
That's 1-0 to Simon.
this is amazing. I'm lucky I didn't have money on this. I would have been
No, the bookies are going bankrupt after this one.
absolutely,
This has been
absolutely.
shocking revelation.
I feel like I'm a fairly boring person for the most part, so I don't
No.
think I do a lot of things out of the ordinary.
Okay. Well, we'll save it for next week. All right. Great. All right. So we're gonna change straight over to the golf talk now. And I thought that obviously we had a good win by Mr. Clark today, but what I want to touch on first was at the start of the week.
Hold up,
Uh,
hold up. You guys got to do this too.
no, we did. That was the Simon section. That's what
What
we
do you?
decided.
What do you? First of all, I don't know who that guy is. Second of all, what? No, you guys got to do it too. It's got to be a three-way
All
thing.
right. Next week we'll come up with one. But this week we had firmly left. We thought you were going to hit us with like 7 or 8. We
Yeah.
thought you were loaded, ready to go. But
I
I
thought
like
you,
it.
I,
I
thought,
like
I
what
thought
you
you'd hit
said.
me with one, and it was going to be like out of this world.
Yeah, it's gonna blow. No, I like the suspense.
All right,
I
I'll give
think
you
we've
one more. I'll give you one
Okay,
more.
we're gonna
Here it
do one
comes.
more. All right,
Because
let's go.
I didn't think you guys were going to be so boring. So
Ah.
the other one I was going to potentially do tonight is about you're going to the bathroom, right? And you're doing a number 2. And Daniel, that's a poop. FYI.
Okay, gotcha.
Controversial.
So I used to be a guy when I was younger, and I don't do this now. I changed it because I feel like the way I do it now is the way to do it. Easier, more access. But previously,
Wait, hold on. Okay, sorry, keep going. I think I know what you're about to say. It's gonna upset me.
okay, so when I was younger, probably until I was, I don't know, maybe grade 7, something like that, used to do a number 2, and then I used to stand up and wipe and not stay sitting down.
I've heard of this, but I don't even know how that works. Wouldn't you squish it all in betwixt your cheeks? I guess as you're younger, you probably don't have much of a booty, right? But when you get older, it gets bigger, so you probably can't. Yeah, you
Well,
have access issues.
I mean, I'm not spraying it out. Like, I don't know.
You're not?
No, it's just most of the time it's fairly normal. So it's not a huge mess, but you get up, and then you kind of like look down and see what you did, and you grab some toilet paper and just give it a wipe. Like it wasn't.
You're just trying to check if you're healthy or not, right? You're going to have a look, see how it's come out, make sure everything's all as it should be.
Nah, I was just seeing what the shape was,
Yeah.
seeing how long it was. Sometimes was it a floater? Did it sink? I don't know. Like sometimes you just gotta have a look.
Yeah. Hayden, standing up to wipe your butt.
Oh, look. Thank you. The last 2 were just so normal, but that is just not like that is fantastic. That's peak Simon, and I thank you for giving us this last little bit of gold nugget, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
That is not normal. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's not normal as an adult. I think as a kid, anything you do in the toilet could be considered normal because it's all strange, right?
Well, you heard about my kid last week, Dan.
And I've got a
he
good one
literally
for
was
you.
like, "Hey, there's no toilet paper." Oh well, didn't even flush.
Yeah, that's actually normal. I think that's for boys. But see, for me, I've got one for next week. Then
Did he jump in the shower?
No, he went back to watching shows. He didn't
So
care.
he's just sitting.
Yeah,
just sitting in it.
Just.
I mean, I discovered it, and
rolling
it was
around.
like, without digressing too much, I discovered it, and it was like a chopped off zucchini at both ends. It was huge. He's only a small guy, and it looked like it was going to be one of those clean ones. So there was probably no mess. So he was probably just like, peace out.
Right. So before we move on to the golf chat, what's everyone's thoughts on straight into the shower, no wipe?
That's fine.
It's fine. Play on.
If you're organized enough to do that, but I mean, like normally I'm not gonna jump in the shower every time I do a number 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about first thing in the morning.
Number 2
I wake up. You wake up, do your business, jump straight in the shower, get ready for the day.
Not unless I'm sick. If I'm sick, yeah. If I'm not, then no.
Fair enough. All right, that's probably enough poo talk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, as I said, we were able to crown a new winner on the PGA Tour. First time victory for Mr. Wyndham Clark, which is great. I feel like I've been hearing his name a bit more lately. So he was obviously priming himself, a cool 3.6 million in the young man's pocket. But before we get on to that, we are going to address the comments at the start of the week, which I believe, Shanky, you put into the sheet. The comments from everybody's, well, what everybody's favorite golfer used to be, Mr. Rory McIlroy.
No,
Does that take us through that?
he's still world class. Like no one's gonna not like Rory because of this. It's just kind of like, well, the biggest problem was that he was the biggest advocate against live. Like he was doing all the smack talking, all of it, and then put out this new format, and then decided that he wasn't going to follow the rules. And he can do that, but Wyndham Clark couldn't do that. That would be
Mm.
more than his earnings, right? Like he there's no way he could do that. So and the other thing too, and I don't know when this changed, but I know they are changing the rules so that you don't have to go. Like you can withdraw from the events if you want to next year.
That's next year. Yeah, they made it this year. They had one to pick, and I guess this is what we said last time, right? Is he got to choose which one he skipped, and he chose to skip the first one. So, but I mean, do you have the quotes there? Do you know what he actually said? Like, what was the reason that he didn't show up?
Oh
Guess.
yeah, no, I don't have the quote in front of me, but it was basically along the lines of, I had a hard week at the Masters. Things weren't going well. It's hard not to make a cut. And mentally, I wasn't there. So for my mental health, I took
Yeah.
time off. And I do have something to say about that, but I'll let someone else take the floor.
HT, any thoughts?
I mean, I've already given Rory a massive spray. When was it? Like 3 weeks ago. He's done some really bad brand damage to himself, and probably like credibility stuff. His comments needed to come out the day after, and you know what? He doesn't need to say it. He's surrounded by a team of people. It's like these guys aren't alone. He's got press people. He's got marketing people. He's got so managers. Everyone's around him. Silence from what, his 30-man team? Not a word. Like his publicist just needs to put out a little statement. Oh, Rory's sad or something, and then everyone gets on the sad bandwagon. It's fine, right? Just dead silence, and then he comes out, and no, it's not good enough when you put yourself out there. He's not playing for the money. It's obvious. I don't know. I've lost a lot of respect for Rory.
Just on that though, he with Rory, like everyone knows it has to come from Rory. Like he is his own
Yeah,
spokesperson,
yeah,
right? Like no
100%.
one's gonna say anything. If anyone else says anything, people won't believe it. Like it's got to be him to say it.
Yeah, he took the
I mean,
mantle
his
on.
caddy could do it.
No, I think
Caddy wouldn't want to do that for him.
the
though.
idea is right. I think that, but he needed to come up. I guess it's hard though, right? Because what Mickelson did it last year, the old mental health thing, and it's sometimes these days, unfortunately, it can be quite easy to just hide behind that as well, right? Obviously, he had a bad time at the Masters, and I'm sure he was struggling. But yeah, the whole mental health thing, I guess, it's its own beast. And if he needs to have the time, he needs to have the time, and it cost him $3 million. So yeah, he paid the toll at the end of the day, and now he's coming back saying that he feels better than ever and he's ready to go. So maybe he'll win next year's Masters, right?
The thing about the mental health statement, right, is that a lot of people suffer mental health, right? A lot of people are severely depressed and like can't get out of bed in the morning and do all this stuff. And I don't know what's going on in the background with Rory, right? Maybe this is him. Maybe he's going through that. But he hasn't seemed like he's had mental health issues until after the Masters. And to me, you can call it mental health issues, but I feel like that's more of just frustration. Like I'm just frustrated with my
Yeah.
games at. I don't have the patience at the moment to deal with this. I don't want to play. I have a lot of other things going on. Yes, I've had to be the spokesperson for the PGA because the commissioner refuses to say anything, but I don't think the mental health excuse is the right one. I think he should have just fessed up, be like, man, I was just really frustrated and I had to take one. I just couldn't play. Like I just
Yeah.
didn't have it in me.
I
If he-
think
if he-
the problem too with Rory is everything in golf seems to happen in cycles, and I feel like him winning the Hero or whatever it was in Dubai was actually him peaking, beating Patrick Reed. It was like a wave breaking. You know what I mean? Like he was at the top of the wave. It broke. It was like the ultimate victory for the PGA. Defeats the evil Darth Vader, fucking Patrick Reed, and then he sort of simmered off after that and never really come back. So I think he needs to rebuild back up. Yeah, and I thought that I think he won the Hero and was like, I'm ready for the PGA, but was him maxing out. And there's a clear difference between the top two players in the world and everyone else, and Rory is part of everyone else.
Yeah, he quickly became part of that. I think that from where I stand, I think you're right. He peaked maybe at the wrong time, but he just had so much pressure on himself because he hasn't won the Masters, right? So he's put so much
Mm.
pressure on himself to win this one event. And when he's failed, it is a mental health thing because he's failed. The one goal that he has probably for the whole year on top of every single goals list that he's written would be to perform well at Augusta, right? And then he hasn't done that. If he came out and just said, like Shanky said, if he came out and just said, hey, look, I can't face playing golf this week. I'll pay $3 million just not to play. Fine. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, that's a big fine. That's a lot of money to pay to just not play golf, right? So
yeah, and there's a lot of factors behind that too. He's getting paid by Nike, TaylorMade, to get their brand on television because he's Rory McIlroy. And guess who's on TV in every featured group? You see a TaylorMade hat, you see Nike shirt, and I don't know what shoes he wears. We can assume FootJoy, the best shoes in golf.
Nike. He wears Nikes.
Sponsors of the pod.
But FootJoys are nice, but he does wear Nikes.
Yeah. That's why he's not winning.
Yeah, there's lots to it, but in the end of the day, he pulled out. He paid the price. I think we can all sort of put a bow on that one now and move on. And he says he's feeling better. So I think that golf is better when Rory's playing well. And if it means that there's 3 guys competing for all of these majors that we think is going to happen, that's only better for the game, right? So
yeah, I think I'll just say one more thing. I think because we say like, oh, if he had said this, it would have been better. If he had said this, it would have been better. But I honestly, I think, like, thinking about it now, no, I don't think it would have made anything better. I think because of the position he put himself in as a spokesperson, no matter what he did, pulling out of this event was going to look bad. If he had just stuck it through, even if he's playing bad golf, even if he got cut, he can still, that would have been the only way he could have saved face, I think.
Yeah, just play and get cut. Yeah, I think that's sort of what we said the first time. Cool. All right. Yeah. Now, if we move off Rory and go to Wells Fargo, some sort of more positivity, some more positive news. Wyndham Clark with a big lead. Actually, he won by, was it 4 strokes in the end?
3, I think. No, it was 19, and I think
15
minus 6.
Schauffele. So
it was 4. Okay, yeah.
He bogeyed one of those last holes, I think, when he was trying to take it on. So yeah, Wyndham won. I think the score that won it last year was -8. And he's gone and whacked up a -19 on the board. So I know that you were talking him up a little bit in the chat this morning. Hayden, what do you think about Wyndham and his form at the moment?
Yeah, look, I did a bit of research because, he's been floating around. He was part of my Big Guns versus Field last week that Tony Finau got for me. It was him, Finau, and Rahm, I think. And I was like, what? Why the hell's Wyndham Clark in here? Never
exactly what you said.
Yeah, exactly. But I know he'd been playing well, and I think he's like 80th golf ranking, whatever that. Even though that doesn't really mean anything these days. But so he's been a pro since 2017. Maybe I've been on tour. Maybe so a bit of a late bloomer. What else did I see about him? Like, obviously 0 wins. He's really come into his own. I think he had a couple of, like, a second maybe to someone recently. I love the fact that he's been on tour for that long. He's earned, I think it was $7 million total earnings. Just earnings, like we're talking 20ths and T30s and whatever.
Passive income.
And today he just earns like 50% of that today. And it's like the little asterisks. Oh yeah, Rahm wasn't there, and if anyone would have chased him down, it would have been Rahm. But that's going to be every week now. So look, Schauffele took over on the 8th hole, I believe, or maybe they tied up, and I thought he was gonna fall away. Yeah, and then obviously, for some reason, my dog woke me up, and I was checking the golf. And then I woke up this morning and checked it, and he was maybe 2 or 3 shots ahead, and he never looked back. So, that's awesome for someone like him. Real tears. He didn't even bring his family because, like, to me, that says I don't think I'm gonna win.
And he even said, the pressure, right?
Yeah, my family's not here. Blah blah blah. First thing he said. Yeah, fantastic. Love it. Love an underdog.
Just looking at it now, so he's had 5 top 5 finishes and 15 top 10s in 134 events. And that's probably all quite recently. And you think you were bang on, he's 80th in the OGWR. So the other stat that they said on the coverage today was that he didn't even win on the Corn Ferry Tour. So he hasn't won anything for a very long time, but he's just played very good golf. And it was good to watch from my point of view. It's just good to watch someone I find that when someone new starts becoming relevant in events, you have to quickly decide if you like that player or not. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
get that feeling. Like I'm very quick to either like or dislike someone who's
Yes.
winning. And for me, Wyndham Clark fell in the like category, which was great. And I thought that if someone's chasing you down, like Schauffele's not a nobody to be chasing you. Like in that group, he's a seasoned pro, he's an Olympic gold medalist. He's done it before. And he still had people like Hatton and Adam Scott, these major event winners in the group, not too far behind him. And he didn't even, like, apart from losing the lead for a little bit, he just looked great. He played, he was doing layups when other people were trying to drive greens. He was just putting lights out, not worried at all about, he was like, I'm going to play the plan that I had. And then if Xander's good enough to beat me, he can. And then Xander had to go and react to that and say, well, I have to beat this guy. So then he ended up bogeying one of the last couple of holes, right? So what about yourself, Shanky? What do you think about it?
Well, I thought the Wells Fargo was a slow starting tournament. Like there were no clear dominating players from the start. Obviously, I thought Fleetwood may have a chance. I was backing my boy for this one. But he had a bad second day, pulled even the second day, and I think on the fourth day he shot maybe 2 under or 1 under.
Yeah, shot 70 today.
Yeah, so unfortunately he didn't do well, or didn't. Well, sorry, he did do well. He tied fifth, I think, with Adam Scott. So, and let's talk about boy Adam Scott. Like Adam Scott has always been my favorite golfer. Like it was like him and Rory. It was those two guys for me growing up. And watching him almost do something, his putter was so good. He was sinking so many long putts, even with the ridiculous putter he uses.
Are we talking about Adam Scott now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was one point where he drove a green and then putted off the green. So I don't know if his putter was that good all day.
Look, I think for the
he
most,
looked like, he did a one of us thing twice this week.
I think for the most part, his putting was good. Everyone messes up now and then, but I would say looking at the stats, if you look up strokes gained for putting over the weekend. I feel like he was in the positives. I thought he was putting really well.
Yeah.
I also had Morikawa and Young to win. I think Cameron Young, he's got to win soon, man. He's like one of the longest players on tour, and he's got an excellent approach game to back it up. I don't know about his short game and his putting. I haven't really looked too much in that, but I feel like he needs to win soon. Also that Max versus Homa bet, or not Max, sorry, Max versus Matt, so Fitzpatrick. And I did have money on Max for that one. So he ended up actually playing decently, and he was my only bet that I won for the week. Ricky unfortunately didn't make top 5. I thought he'd do better, and I always back Akshay Bhatia when I feel like that kid's gonna be great someday. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's got it in him. Even though he's the size of he's on the twigs, right? He's the size of a stick, but
I feel like Akshay's story leads to him being great one day.
I hope so. I really do.
It's just different,
Yeah.
And different's good.
Yeah, different's definitely good, and he's got so much confidence for such a young guy, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Talking about Wyndham, I don't know what I feel about him yet. Looking at the stats, I was looking at like his placements. I think since the Zozo, right back in, was that October, November, I don't think he finished above top 50. I think before that he got cut a couple tournaments, but after that it was top 50, and then all these kind of like slowly you can see his progression. Like if you look at a chart, like you can slowly see him, like his stats just climbing and climbing. And I don't know if you'd have to be, I don't know how many people were betting on Wyndham to win this weekend, but looking at the stats, it looks like it was going to happen, right? Without Rahm here, without Scheffler here, it kind of looks like it was going to happen. So I was excited to see him win. I think one of the best things to see is someone who's never won before win, because they do get so emotional and it means so much to them. Like watching Rahm win is like, he's just like, yeah, I did it again. I'm the guy, and everyone's like, yeah, Rahm, yeah. But like seeing Wyndham win, like you kind of get emotional with him, like watching him hug his caddy and watching him like kind of walk through the fans, like you could tell how much it meant. So I always love seeing that. I didn't think he was going to win on Sunday. I thought Schauffele was going to destroy him. I thought he was going to falter, but that run he had on the back 9 was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was
he just started sticking it so close to the pin on his approach shots, and I don't even think that's like an amazing part of his game, but he just stepped it up. So yeah, I was happy. I was happy with the result. Good to see. I would have loved Fleetwood to win, but next time.
Yeah, he got close. Look, I think that with we do say we're missing a couple of big guns, Ram and Scotty, but take nothing away from him. I think that even if Ram was there, the dude shot 67, 67, 63, 68. That, I mean, if Ram came and wins that, then so be it. But I still think he's done a really good job there. Hayden, I spoke to you earlier about maybe talking about the Aussies that we had in contention. So at the start of every tournament, we all live in Australia, so we have a bit of a soft spot for them. We see Adam Scott and Jason Day, that are sort of the old journeymen of the Australian golf game, ready to go. We want them both to succeed, but sort of they both had very different weekends. So do you want to talk to us about what you think happened to the Aussies in the field this week?
Yeah, look, Jason Day is just one of those guys I don't think anybody has a problem with. Anyone in the world of golf likes Jason Day. Just a good guy, and everyone wants to see him succeed. And I put him in the same category as Ricky Fowler, just guys that people just want to win something, anything, just one more kind of thing. He won, I think, 2016, maybe just off the top of my head. You can fact check me on that one. And Ricky won I think Ricky won like 9 years ago. I thought that one of them would be really close. They're both playing so well. I'm sorry to go to Ricky, but I put them in the same category. I thought Jason was going to step up. I had him in my bet. I had him in my multi to be top 20. And that's all I asked for, Jason. I know he'll be listening to this. So yeah, look, JD, not as weak. He's been playing really good golf. So we're just going to, he just never quite, I think day two, he started really early and never quite got going. Adam Scott, again, one of the nice guys on tour. Everyone loves him. I think Adam was probably five like terrible golf shots away from being second. Like he was so close, and he played himself out of contention. Adam did. He'd do like something amazing, and then he'd bogey the next hole, and then he'd birdie the hole, then he'd bogey the next hole. I think the Aussies are really close. A lot of them are really, really close, and there's so many young, good Australian golfers coming up too. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a soft spot for these two older Aussies, right? So the question that I asked earlier in the week, I mean, we'll talk about Adam Scott's drive on 18 and that putt off the green, which to be fair to him, it was a very difficult putt. And he ended up bogeying that hole, unfortunately, after driving the green and one, putting off, chipping on, then two putting. I asked the question earlier in the week, Hayden, do you think that either of these two can they win another event? And secondly, can they win another event that means something, like a major? What are your thoughts on that?
Scott and Day definitely can win an event. Adam Scott's proved that. He could have won today if he just didn't. He played himself out of a chance. And JD was close. I think he's had a T5 recently or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Both of them can win something. Can they win something that matters? I would say maybe Adam Scott can. I think they could win an elevated event, and especially one of these ones where maybe Rahm doesn't show. But
which is none for the rest of the year, right?
I mean, look, if either of them play Mexico next year with Rory, there's a really good chance they're going to win that. So
yeah. So Adam's last victory was 2020 in the Genesis. And I'm just looking up for Jason's now. I think I agree with you. I think that they could definitely win an event, right? Anyone can win an event. I don't know if these two guys need to go and do that to prove anything though, but I would like to see them. I'd like to see them have a really good chance, like maybe be in the final group in one of these big events. That would be good to see. So 2018 was the last win for JD. So Farmers Insurance and Wells Fargo.
Yeah. So he was back issues, surgery, sick family. Like there's lots of reasons why JD's been gone, but I think he's back.
I saw a quote from him today too, saying that when he had the sore back and things like that, he wasn't feeding himself right, like an athlete should, things like that as well. So he's compounding these negative things, right? Which just make it impossible to do well when you're playing against people like these guys play against, right?
Yeah, and he looks strong now. He looks good.
Yeah, he's got guns, right? He's
he
doing
looks
it.
Real strong. So we'll see.
And just to go back to Adam's putting stats, he's second in the PGA Tour for putts from 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah,
Nice.
right.
So I think he's going all right. I think he's going all right.
Aim point.
Yep. You know, a name that I keep seeing up high in the leaderboard that I just don't really know much about is Jimmy Walker. For some reason, that guy's always floating there or thereabouts. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying keep an eye on him. He just seems to be there or thereabouts. Maybe something's going to happen soon. If we look at other notable names from the week this week, obviously Max was T8, your boy from Canada, Shanky, T8, Corey Connors.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
all right.
and he's all right. No thoughts about Corey?
I think Corey's great off the tee, and when he can put a game together, beyond that, he's a good player. But it's like you guys were saying, like either have to choose if you like or you don't like someone. I'm not like that. I like to see them how they do against the best in the field. Like Scheffler for me, it probably took 2 or 3 rounds for to see him consecutively win for me to appreciate his game, and I actually really like him now. But yeah, Corey, I'm still jury's still out. Yeah, he's Canadian, but I'm not gonna start a podcast about him.
He's no Adam Hadwin.
I do. Adam Hadwin's got the beard. That's the character, right? Like you can root for a guy like that.
Yeah, he's no Hadwin.
And as bad as this is to say, a T14 for JT is probably a good result for him this year, right? Justin Thomas coming 14th. So far this year, he's 70th in the FedEx.
Yeah, he hasn't had a great year, but I think it was a good result overall. I think he really had one good day overall for the weekend.
He's
I think it was
68,
second day, maybe?
68,
Yeah.
67, 70, 71. So he was pretty consistent, just not consistently low, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was the second day. I thought he was playing really well. I didn't know he shot 68 the first day, but just trail. I think, and that's the other thing about this course is I don't know how hard it was because it seemed like a lot of guys made it look really hard, but then when you're getting a score like -20, that kind of makes me think, or -19, that kind of makes me think, oh, maybe it's not. I don't know, because at the start I felt like it was almost a Masters event, like it was that hard.
I thought I was with you. It looked like a hard course, and it was playing like a hard course for a lot of very, very good players, and it was almost like Wyndham Clark like almost put that aside and just and just was like, well, I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose, so I'm just going to play golf. Yeah, I don't know.
But did he go 63 on the third day?
Who's that, Wyndham?
Yeah, I thought he went like 63.
Yeah, he did 63. Yeah, he went very low.
Score.
I think.
Yeah, that's why, man. No one's touching that. Like no one was getting close.
I think that might be the low score of the week. A 64 from Schauffele on day 3 as well, so within one stroke. So I think that he did exactly what you're saying, and he just like played the shot in front of him, and he didn't think about, oh, Wells Fargo is this hard course, and the President's Cup here was here because of this and that, and he just sort of didn't really care about that and just thought, here's my golf ball and here's what I need to do next, and executed. There's a lot of names low down on this board that made it seem really difficult.
What do we think about Harris English?
Before we go off JT.
Oh, we off JT? Okay.
One more thing on JT.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Is there going to be a point where they say this JT and Bones experiment doesn't work? Like, do you think that could be the reason? Do they not work? He's like literally one of the best caddies ever. One of the best players ever.
This is the thing about golf, the recency bias, right? Because it was less than 12 months ago that combination won the PGA Open, right?
PGA Championship.
It's PGA Championship, which is in 2 weeks. So
is that when Mito lost it?
Yeah, he won it. Did he win? No, he went out in the playoff against not Mito. Mito got himself out of the playoff.
Yeah, Mito lost it. I don't think JT won it. Mito lost
it was Zalatoris.
Well, who's got the trophy? JT. So what I'm saying is that's the recency bias, right? So I think that let's give them a chance. He's just had a weird start to the year. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, Shaggy?
Well, Danny, I think that I honestly think JT's just not hitting the ball well. I don't think it has anything to do with the caddy. I think Bones is a great caddy, and I feel like caddies don't break players. They can make players, but I don't think they break them. I think players do that themselves. So I don't think
screen grab that.
I don't think the caddies are making. I don't think Bones is making JT play worse. I think JT is making himself play worse, and it's the thing. Like your swing can just change, come and go. We've all been there. He'll come back. It's JT. He's one of the best iron strikers in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seems not happy with himself.
Yeah, he went through this though, like I feel like 2 or 3 years ago, where he got like super depressed because he wasn't playing well again. But I don't know how he is right now. Maybe he might not be depressed at all. He might be really happy with the result for the weekend. But yeah, I think he'll come back. Like I said, he's still one of my picks. So
He's getting better going towards major. So we'll leave it at that. Harris English. I have no thoughts on Harris English.
all right,
No,
let's move
you
on.
could show me a picture of him and I wouldn't even know who he was.
Next.
I just like
The-
he's starting to. I feel like he's starting to come up a lot more. Like this
No, thanks.
weekend, last weekend. I don't know
Yeah,
why
look,
he's saying no thanks. I don't really.
No, I mean,
he,
like,
he was,
I
he
would
was in
rather
the Ryder
vision.
Cup. He was in the Ryder Cup last year,
Yeah.
and then he got injured. And he's been injured, and he's been coming back from injury. He's obviously a good player if he's made the Ryder Cup. He won't be in the Ryder Cup again. So yeah, he's obviously can play golf. He's just like the most boring looking dude. I really find it hard to get behind him.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, the next thing I wanted to touch on was a bit of Ram watch. So I was watching the NBA Finals today. Saw Big Rambo sitting in the crowd there at Phoenix, just lapping it up, mingling with the other celebrities. Do we think having 3 weeks off before a major is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? What do we think? What are our thoughts there?
I think Ram can do whatever the hell he wants right now. He is the man. He is the best player in the world by far. Oh, not by far, but he's. Other players are terrified of Ram. He needs a break. He's been playing a lot of golf. He's been winning a lot of golf, and he strategically came second in Mexico to maximize his money, so he didn't have to go back. That's how good Ram is.
Yeah.
Go watch more basketball, buddy.
I think I think breaks are good, especially in golf. I think if you do grind week in, week out, you get too much in your head and you don't play as well. So I think he's planned his schedule very well. I think this is the appropriate amount of time to take off. I think especially after the Masters. So what was it? It was Masters, then it was the
Mexico.
Heritage, and then it was Mexico.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heritage, Mexico.
Yeah, so he played those two right after the Masters, which I think was fine, and then gave himself a break before the championship. And I think that he knew, I think he's a smart guy. I think that he knew if he won the Masters, he wanted to play some tournaments he didn't really care too much about to get, because you had to pick your events, get some time off, work on the swing, get dialed in, go to the PGA Championship, more money, baby.
But did you think it's what happens because Scotty's playing next week? So what happens if Scotty goes out and just absolutely balls out? Does that put Rahm off, knowing that the second best player in the world, who's really the only one that can compete against him, has just gone lights out, where he's had nothing? I'm sure he's playing, but does that get into a psyche at all, or is Rahm just?
Do you think
too
Rahm is
steely?
afraid of anything? I don't think he is.
No, I don't think so either.
I think the man's a
Yeah.
bull. He'll just charge.
Fair enough.
This is the problem now, is that there's an asterisk on everything. If Scotty and Rahm aren't there, there's an asterisk on everything. And I hate to take away. I love Tony. I love all these guys. That Wyndham, great job. But if those boys aren't there, there's an asterisk on everything.
Hey, Tony beat Rahm, so there's no asterisks on that. I mean, there is other asterisks, but
Did he beat him? Did he beat him or did he wink beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see next year.
Rahm flew female's family out.
Yeah.
So good.
I think Rahm's done the right thing. I still think JT will win the PGA Championship. I think JT will just.
Think so? Okay.
Well, I called it when we said our major picks, right? I said JT PGA Championship back to back.
Don't mind it.
I think he's starting to come to form again. A couple weeks, he'll be good to go.
Yep. Don't hate it. Anything else from the Wells Fargo? Anyone saw or wants to talk about?
No, just Tom Kim. Did you see him?
Tom
What
Kim?
did he do? Chip the ball on or putt it, and it just goes for 30 feet, 40 feet, and then goes off into the water. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Was that
That's hard.
Was that the drivable par 4?
Maybe it was just hard.
The one that Adam Scott almost did the same
these guys
thing?
are the best of the best, and that was something that I would do.
The one thing that I would like to talk about before we move off Wells is do you think that Wyndham Clark will win more events now? Because that's what I said this before. This is what the broadcasters think. That you go to Wells Fargo, you win there. It's the world's your oyster. You'll just start winning. Like Max Homa did it, Rory did it. They start naming all these names, and I'm like, I could see Wyndham Clark doing it, but I don't think winning Wells Fargo is a guarantee.
I think this year, I think it's almost like anything, right? Once you do it once, you sort of break the seal and you can do it again. It doesn't feel as hard. That's I mean, maybe that's why Tommy hasn't won anything, right? If he could break the seal on a PGA event, maybe he goes on and wins more. So I can see Wyndham winning a few more.
Look, I mean, what's coming up? The John Deere Classic, like Barbasol, $3.8 million worth of prize money. Go ahead, Wyndham. It's yours for the taking, buddy. Because I can tell you who's not going to be there. Everyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless they're elevated events, right? Any of those elevated?
Barbasol was definitely not. Barbasol was actually the opposite of that.
And John Deere's usually they usually let amateurs, or not amateurs, but like the rookies play in the John Deere, right? Because I think there's a big European event on at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's
I think it's the Scottish Open or something the week before the Open. Yeah. So I doubt they'll be making that into an elevated event. But yeah, we all done with the Wells Fargo. We wrap that one up.
Yep.
Cool.
Done.
The one thing I want to talk to you about, Simon, was you're really the guy who got me into watching F1, right? A couple of years back. And you could argue that the time that you got me into watching F1 was probably some of the best time in recent history that you had to watch F1, right? Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen going toe to toe every single week, on the back of the raging success of the Drive to Survive series, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching the F1 this year, and I'm like trying to make myself like it, right? And I don't like it, because what happens is Red Bull get in the lead, they win every week. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're even asking the drivers to qualify second, hey, what lap do you think Max Verstappen's going to overtake you on? Oh, I think 20. And then he overlaps on 7th. Like, that's what we're getting to. So my question to you is, with the Full Swing show that's come out, it's also been a raging success. Do these shows put too much pressure on the sport to be hyper entertaining rather than what they typically are? Because from what I've heard in the past, F1 was actually more like what it is now, where one or two guys just dominate forever. So, is it potentially putting too much pressure on the sport to be hyper entertaining? And with Full Swing coming out at literally the perfect time in history it possibly could have come out, has it done the same? Could it do the same thing to golf?
I don't know. I don't know how much of an impact Full Swing had on golf. It's very different than Drive to Survive, because Drive to Survive, it's more I hate to say it, it's more the live format, right? Like, you get on board with the team. Whereas like I felt Full Swing was just about sharing the stories of the players, which I really liked. And if you're already a golf fan, that's excellent. If you're not a golf fan, you could probably appreciate it, but I don't know if you'll be watching golf tournaments after that. So I don't think it will do the same for golf that Drive to Survive did. But then again, like, I'm at the point now where I'm not really watching Drive to Survive anymore. I'd rather just watch the races. You kind of already know what happens, and then most of the drama is just constructed by Netflix. I my opinion is that Full Swing will be a better show if they keep it going, because again, and you're saying like you don't know Harris English, but how well did you know Joel Damon before that show, right? You probably would have been like, oh, blah, Joel Damon, 74th in the world, who cares? But now you're like, Joel Damon, like, let's go. I don't care where you are, let's win. So
Do you see his tweet I posted today about him trying to find a golf game on Saturday and Sunday somewhere near Kuala Lumpur because he knew he wasn't going to make the cut?
I saw that on Twitter. That was funny.
Yeah, so you're right. I think that Full Swing has more longevity as a TV show than Drive to Survive. I think maybe Drive to Survive put more pressure on that sport to be super entertaining, because all you see in the Netflix show that is crashes, fireballs, people swearing at each other, whereas Full Swing's more like emotional, maybe more emotionally driven.
Let me put it this way to you. I'm not an F1 guy. Don't watch it. Don't really care about it. But what you've just said is the equivalent, and I'm not having a go, but I'm just giving you a different perspective on it. My wife really liked Full Swing, and she watches golf in the morning with me. Something. It'd be the equivalent of her going, I really like Full Swing, but every time it's just that John Rahm guy. He's Red Bull. And she's like, it's boring. Only Red Bull win. Only John Rahm win. What about this Joel Damon guy? We really love him. The PGA doesn't even show him on TV. Yeah, I know, babe, because he's T45th.
And you heard me complaining about this in Wells Fargo too. Sorry to go back to Wells Fargo, but
absolutely.
Man, that
but like that's all. That's just the equivalent argument. Is that it's made everybody liked Full Swing in some capacity, but in the end, it's John Rahm winning every weekend, and he's Red Bull.
Yeah.
Person literally said to me, because she watched the golf with me too, and we were watching it late at night, and she literally said to me, if I see these bubbling springs one more time, I will shoot myself in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that they could definitely do a better job of televising the start. I mean, last year we were complaining that we didn't get that extra coverage. So this year we've gotten the extra coverage. We've got 11 hours of coverage, right? And if you think about something like Test cricket, it's very long. The commentators repeat themselves over and over again. 11 hours of golf is not easy to commentate and to keep interesting. But I think you're right. Like, they could have done a better job. Yes. Are they making progress? Also, yes. So I'm happy to see them moving in the right direction.
Like, I understand, like, they were the earliest tee offs, right? And when it's that early, there's not necessarily a lot going on. Maybe they only had certain camera positions, but I think we all saw, like, the moment Spieth came on, they were showing all of his shots,
Yeah, but it's who owns those cameras too. Like, the Golf Channel might own some of those camera positions, and then CBS might own the majority of them, right? So and that's all the stuff that we just don't know. But yeah, could they just get a camera out there following a couple of dudes? You know what I'd like to see, instead of just going to that screen of nothing, put some mics on the guys you are following, and let's just listen to them instead. I'd rather just sit there and listen to what they're talking about for 5 minutes while they wait for a shot.
Yeah.
I don't really care what they're talking
on the
about.
On the caddies, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whoever, in the golf bag, anywhere you can. Even just get a guy with a boomstick over the back. But they do it in every other sport. So why can't they do it in golf? Golf has no contact in it, but they can do it in football. They can do it in American football. So why can't they do it in golf?
I guess the only problem I have is that, they have it all set up. Yes, we're getting the earlier coverage, but what, you're just going to not try now because this is a little bit more, let's do a little bit more next year. And then a little bit more the year after. No, like, just do it right and do it now, and everyone's going to be happy.
Yeah. No, fair point. I agree. Awesome. So that's pretty much it for the golf chat, unless anyone's got anything else.
No, the only other thing I just bring up quickly is Moronk obviously won the DP World Tour. We spoke about him.
Yep.
The midway point, maybe, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he won something down here in Australia. I can't remember what it was.
He came top 5 in the Open with Cam Smith, I think.
Yeah, just a horrendous, like, B grade DP World Tour field. Really hard to watch. But yeah, Moronk obviously can game and did. So another win for Moronk. So shout out for the pole.
For the poll, that's right. And I think a few of those DP guys are flying over next week, trying to cram in a session at the AT&T before the major, right? So those that have qualified are doing that. And we've got, Min Woolley, another Australian, is going to be in the field next week, so that'll be good to see.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good odds in the field next week. But if we're speaking about DP, there is a bit of controversy there. The suspensions for all the LIV players. So now they're not allowed to play in any of the Ryder Cup events.
I haven't seen that article yet. I know that.
I think subsequent to that, all of them resigned, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, some of them were holding off their resignations, but then the suspension came through, so they resigned. Yeah. Look, I just think it's poor timing with the DP World Tour. That ship sailed. No one really cares anymore. I honestly don't think anyone's like, oh, suspensions. Like,
yeah, but it's just, it would have been nice probably for some of those guys to be captains. Like Westwood, I think would have been a good captain. I'm not Sergio. No, Sergio Fleetwood would never be us. Fleetwood.
One day when he wins an event.
What's his name? Poulter. I think Poulter's not a bad guy. I don't know if he'd be a good captain or not, but he was always the spark for the Europeans. So that's a bit sad.
Yeah, we'll see how that unfolds. He won't be around when the next one comes, probably, anyway, will he? He will just see out his contract with LIV and then be gone.
Are we going to touch on the AT&T or not really?
I think we could save that for next week. Do we want to do any bets for the AT&T, and I can put it in the spreadsheet and go along? Is that something that we want to do this week?
I've got a couple in there if you want to.
You've got a couple in there?
Have you got it in front of you? You can read them.
Okay,
touch on them.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have some money that we're going to pretend to spend. We've got $20 each to spend on each event. We're going to track it and see who wins the most or loses the least at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, whoever is in front, the other two are going to buy them some Pro V1s or ball of their choice, I guess, if we're no longer playing the Pro V1s. But we'll start off with Hayden. So Hayden's got 3 bets in here. So how are you going to divide that up? Just divide it up equally, or have you got certain
I'll
amounts
probably
you're
just
gonna
go
spend?
like 10-5-5.
10,
So
5, 5. So
the
10
first
on
one,
number 1. Yeah.
yeah.
So first off, we got big guns versus the field. I'm assuming you're going to take the guns, or are you going to take the field?
Yeah, I'm always going to take the guns. I've won some money on that before, and my assumption is it's probably Scotty, Jordan, and Tom Kim. Maybe it's usually 3 versus the field. It's usually at playing sort of 3 times. So I'll probably chuck 10 on there. I can't remember what I had for second. What did I have for the other 2?
Your second one is Min Woo T20, so top 20.
Yeah,
for
Min
Min
Woo,
Woo.
top 20. He's playing great golf, hitting the ball really well. I'll just chuck 5 on that. You'll probably get maybe $5 or something, maybe $7 on that. I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Sorry, where are
and
you putting these?
So in the bet tracker, I put another
In the
tab
spreadsheet.
in the
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, what was my third one? I can't remember.
And the third one is your boy Scotty outright.
Yeah, it's probably like $5, but it's Scotty, right? I mean, the way I look at that and the logic behind it, I got a little stat there. 6 of the world's top 30 players in the AT&T: Scotty, Jordan, Tom Kim, Tyrrell Hatton, Hideki Matsuyama, and Tom Hoagie, everyone's sweetheart darling, Tom Hoagie. So look, I think that's a Scotty victory, if not a Jordan Spieth victory. I don't see anyone else doing it.
Well, we were just talking about a Jason Day comeback. I mean, big JD's in the field.
No,
Could
not
be that
this
event we're talking about that doesn't matter.
not this week. Yeah, maybe, but not this week. Anyway, so that's me, and that's sort of my logic behind it.
Yeah, awesome. Great, I love it. Simon, I'm going to put you on the spot this week. I know you haven't prepared them already, but do you want to throw out some bets that you'd like to put on? Again, we don't know the odds yet, but we'll figure that out after the fact. But if you had $20 to spend,
let's try to keep it the same. Like we'll each pick one of the 3.
No. So you get 20 to spend, and we don't make it too complicated. Like 3 is probably the maximum, but you could put all your $20 on a top 5 for somebody or.
No, I'm just saying I'm gonna pick the same criteria as Hayden. So like a top 20, an outright winner, and a big guns versus the field.
Okay.
I don't really know what big guns versus the field is because I'm not normally a betting man. So
that means that so they'll give you a couple of guns that are your team, or you can choose the field. So the field is everybody else. So the big guns for this one is probably going to be someone like Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth,
Tom
and
Hatton.
Tom Kim maybe, or Hatton maybe. I'm trying to see another big name in here.
Yeah, they usually give you 3 or 4 depending on the size. Like
Yeah,
it's
I think
given
they'll
to
only
you
be
as an
3 for
option,
this one.
and then you have to take that or take the field.
It could even be Adam Scott. Honestly, it could be Scotty Scheffler, Adam Scott, and Spieth.
So it's just random or what? I don't.
No, we don't know yet because Sportsbet haven't published it. But
okay,
we
all right.
we'll
So we'll hold off on that one.
Okay.
Top 20. You went Min Woo. I love the pick. I'm gonna go Brandon Wu.
Hey.
Brandon Wu.
Yeah.
We're talking about young guys. I'm gonna go Brandon.
Yep.
Woo. Let's go.
All right, outright winner. I've been thinking about this one. I honestly don't think it's gonna be Scotty. I know he's the favorite, but I don't think it's gonna be him. Hatton's been playing really well.
Hatton just struggles to put 4 days together. Eh? He really struggles.
Yep.
Some Canadians in the mix here too. Ooh, JJ Spawn's in there.
That's the most excited I've ever heard someone say.
Didn't he win an event like this last year? And it made the event really boring to watch.
Yeah, I think he did.
I like JJ. You know what? I'll back my boy Adam. Adam Scott outright winner.
Adam Scott, there we go.
Yeah, it's got momentum.
There we go. Why not?
I'm feeling it.
All right, so I think what we'll do for this segment each week then is we'll do something like this where maybe ahead of time we'll get the 3 categories ahead of time and they can just change every week, right? So I think that actually works quite well. All right, so what I'm going to do, big guns versus the field, is so Simon, you went undecided or?
Well, I thought we had to wait for that.
No, you just got to like it'll be 3 or 4 of it'll be the top 4 best players versus the rest of the field is what it will be.
And then if one of them wins, or
if one of those 4 wins, then you get better odds for that. So I'm going to change Hayden's to big guns, and yours is going to be.
Well, I said Adam Scott was going to win. Is he going to be a big gun now?
But
is he going to be one of the big guns? I don't know.
All right, I'll let you have that. If Adam Scott's a big gun, you go big guns. If Adam Scott's not a big gun, you go field. Are you happy with that? I
happy
like
with
that.
Now, just a quick one though. Because if we do this, right, like someone could potentially just look at, okay, who's most likely to win and just pick those every time. Are we?
Yeah, no, you can do that, but then you're not going to win as much money, right? So you put in
Okay.
$20 on it.
So the odds
So
are on his
the
side,
odds,
yeah.
the odds are going to come back. So if you, let's say you pick Scheffler to win at $1.60, that's not going to be as much as if you pick Adam Scott at like $10, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the field then, just to even it out, and because I think that someone from the field is going to win. If we're doing a top 20, I'm going to stick to the Aussie theme here. I'm just going to go JD in the top 20. I think that he'll come back from this week and sort something out. And I've got a feeling that a non-American is going to win outright. So I'm going to go with, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with Hatton. Why not?
Mm.
I'm going to take Hatton. I think that they're going to peak just before they want to, and he's not going to be able to take it home. So that's the bets for this week. So we've got me on the field, Simon's in between, depending on Scott. Hayden's taking the guns. Top 20, we've got Minwoo Lee, Brandon Wu, and JD. And outrights, we've got Hatton for myself, Scott for Simon, and Scotty for Hayden.
Cool.
Sounds good. I like it.
Lovely.
Should be a nice little competition going on there. So that's the end of the golf section. So we're gonna put a bow on that, unless anyone's got anything else.
I'm pretty happy.
No, we're all good. Cool. All right, we're gonna end with the new segment this time. It's gonna be called Blind Ranking. So I'm gonna give you a category. I did post it in there earlier. You're going to get a category, and I'm going to give them to you in the order that I've already predetermined it. The idea of the game is to get your top 5 list to replicate what it would if you knew them ahead of time, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So Simon, you're going to do the 5 best times to have a beer.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And Hayden, yours is going to be the 5 best condescending titles. And you'll know what it means when I start saying it. So the best basically insulting word to call another man. And we might start with that one, all right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we just go.
So I'm gonna tell you the word, and then Hayden's got to rank it 1 out of 5, so you can see what he does, Simon, and then we'll see how it goes. See what your list looks like at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So Hayden, top 5 blind ranking condescending titles to call another man. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna throw Buddy at you.
Buddy. Yeah, okay, Buddy. Yeah, look, I think it's probably on the lower scale. It's not too offensive. Buddy can still be crossed over as you're my buddy kind of. Yeah, look, it's a 5. Buddy's a 5.
Okay, Buddy's in the 5.
Yeah, I think
we
so.
got
It's
Buddy
really
in the
low.
5.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Yeah. We got Buddy in the 5, and next one up, I'm gonna throw a Sport at you. Come on, Sport.
Sport is really condescending. I think Sport's got to be up there. It's a real. Not only is it like a condescending thing, it's usually an age kind of thing too. So someone who's older than you usually throws Sport at you, which sort of adds to it. I'm going to chuck that. That's probably about a number, probably a 3.
Okay, so we got Buddy at 5, and we got Sport at 3.
Yeah.
All right. Yep, I like it so far. Next, I'm going to throw in a Chief.
Chief's not as bad as some other ones that I would probably throw at someone to get a reaction. Chief's kind of funny, especially in Australia. I think in America, Chief would probably be not so funny. If you threw Chief at me, I'd probably laugh at you and be a little bit insulted, but not really. I think it's 4. Chief's a 4.
Chief is a 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've only got the 2 slot and the 1 slot to go. So these have got to get pretty good. So at 4, we got Champ.
Champ's got to be up there. Champ's it's real flavor of the month too. And if you throw Champ at someone, it's not done for any other reason than to it's the stinger Champ. I think Champ's possibly number 1.
Champ at number 1.
I'd be not happy if someone champed me at work.
No, I think I agree. I think Champ is quite bad, which means coming in the 2 spot is going to be Pal.
Oh. I might have whiffed on Pal.
That's all right. That's the first time playing the game, but you didn't leave the space for the Pal. But what do we think about that? We got Champ at the 1, Pal at the 2, Sport at the 3, Chief at the 4, and Buddy at the 5. I like it.
I would have if not knowing them now, I would have probably gone the exact same, with the exception of what was sport? What was
Sport was 3, so I probably would have put Pal and Chief swap the round. We've gone Chief 2 and Pal 4.
I like Chief.
Yeah.
I like Chief.
But I think it's like but
But
it's like
Chief,
like you
I
said,
think
you'd
it's
laugh, right?
term
So
of
it makes
endearment.
it gives you the effect you're after,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think I
Champ-
would probably put Pal down to 4
Yeah.
and just
Champ's
everything else.
definitely number 1 though. Champ's the undisputed champ of that list. So
Yeah, because that would make Sport second for me. I think.
I'd
and
put
that-
Sport 1 over Champ.
Sport's
pretty
pretty
Yeah.
bad because it's very like, yeah, you're younger than me, I'm bigger than you, sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
I
I
don't know. Like, I think
if I say it, I think it's
Champ's
different.
bad because if you get Champ, it's but like you can go, "What
Yeah.
up, Champion?" and that's okay.
Champion's good, yeah.
But then you shorten it, and then that's nasty.
Yeah.
So
The other
yeah.
honorable mentions to Muscles and Big Fella. So the other two didn't quite make the list.
Big
fella.
fella. Whoa.
Big fella.
That would be like number 1 or 2 for me.
Yeah,
Someone calls me
yeah.
Big fella, I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't
I've got
respect
an
me at
honorable
all.
mention that
Calm down, big fella.
that Danny uses all the time. Dan uses this all the time as mate.
Yeah. Mate, you come on, mate.
Mate.
Yeah, but that's an Australian thing.
Yeah,
But
I know,
buddy-
but you don't use mate as a good thing. You use it bad.
Yeah. Mate, what are you doing?
See,
I like
buddy and mate are interchangeable between Canada and Australia, right? Like, so
Yeah.
like buddy's your mate, and like, hey bud, like it's like a nice, like nice to see you kind of vibe.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on there, bud?
What about it?
Where's your polar bear?
Yeah. I like that. I should have put Big Fella in, but sometimes you don't put the worst ones in every time, right? Because you got to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
No,
you're waiting for Big Fella.
I like that. I like that.
Big fella would kill my soul.
that.
Why did you say that? Why did you give us that?
That's just so bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
All right,
Big fella.
Simon.
If we're on the
Yeah,
tee and
go
you
on.
call me big fella, Shanky's
Go on, big
coming
fella.
out.
Shanky's here to play. All right, Shanky, we've got your top 5 is the 5 best times to have a beer. So you understand how this works?
Well,
You've got the gist
you
of it?
have sauces on here.
Yeah, no, I've changed it. We can do sauces after if you like, but I've written a whole bunch of them,
I do like
and I
sauces.
decided that the beer is the one. We can do. Do you want to do sauces?
No.
he's out.
Stick to your guns.
It's gonna
Stick
be
to your
scrambled
guns there,
eggs.
big fella.
Scrambled eggs.
We'll do this, and then if we've got time, we could do sauces as well. Maybe as a joint venture.
No
So
problem.
Simon,
Maybe champ.
5 best times to have a beer. Right. So the first one, and this is the one that takes a little bit more explaining from me. But you're ready for a big night out. You're having a shower beer.
It's 5 for me.
It's 5. Not a fan of the shower beer.
Yeah,
What if I
probably
change
not
it to
good
a
for me.
bath beer though? I know you like your baths.
If it's the end of the night,
Okay, not a
No.
start of the night thing for you. No?
if
Fair
if
enough.
it's start of the night in a bath, oh mate,
Yeah, then that's
load
over.
me up.
All right, so we've got a shower beer in the 5. Coming in next, we've got the first sip of beer after mowing the lawns on a hot Queensland day.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm putting that at 2.
2? Got that at 2.
2. It
So
could be
lawn
1,
beer?
but there's just so many options. I just can't give it 1 yet. That's
Can't give one. Can't get
playing
out
the
that
odds.
prestigious spot. All right, coming in next, we've got the sharing a jug with the boys after a round of golf.
Yeah, that's 3.
3?
Yeah.
That's the median beer. Yep.
Yep, it's good. It's a good beer.
Jug after golf in the 3. Okay, I like it. So we've got the 1 and the 4 spot left. So coming in next is going to be the airport beer.
4.
Airport beer in the 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Confident.
not a
That
big
was
fan of that either?
that was the confidence for.
It's one of those like I'll have a beer because I'm here. It's not I can't wait to go to the airport and have a beer.
What's with the rhyming today? You're on fire.
That's exactly how I feel about it too.
I like to rhyme.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do.
See, the airport beer for me has a soft spot because I always have a beer every time. I don't know if you guys are the same. Maybe this is my normal or not, but every time I'm at the airport, I'll have a beer. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, what country I'm in.
Yep.
Right? Doesn't matter how much it costs either, because they cost a fortune.
Yeah.
I'm more about the coffee at the airport.
You
than the
would
beer.
be. You would be.
What's wrong with the
All
coffee?
right.
What's wrong with the coffee?
Normal or nah?
That's enough from me. So the number 1, where am I? Hold on, sorry.
Tell me,
That
hit me.
means that
What's
you're
my favorite
coming
beer?
in with your favorite beer is what I've called I'll have one more beer. So you're out with the boys, maybe after work having a drink. You probably shouldn't have stayed. the missus might be mad at you. You haven't answered your phone, but you think, you know what, I've got time for one more beer. So that is your favorite beer, the one more beer.
Yeah, I'd probably switch 1 and 2.
Yep.
If it was the first beer after work, that would be number 1.
Okay. Fair enough. And
can
like
I just
I don't
say,
always
though,
put the best ones in there because otherwise you're just going to expect it, right?
one of my favorite Simons in the world is the one more drink Simon. Like on last Saturday, I cracked open this red wine and he's just like, no. Okay, just one. And then that bottle just gone.
My favorite Simon is that I'm going to insult your cousin, Simon.
It is what happened.
That's not what happened. I'll tell you what happened. What happened was Hayden kept saying, maybe we should get into this wine. And all night I was like, no, I shouldn't. We're drinking beers. Let's not get into the wine. Ooh. And it's like, and then he just said it one more time. And I was just like, yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. You know, actually, that's my favorite Simon is post origin red wine Simon, because that me and you we sync that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, the beer stuff, that's what we've done for the beer. So you go in the one more beer, the lawn beer, which I agree is probably the number one if you've ever lived in Queensland and mowed a lawn. The jug with the boys after golf. I was surprised you went for 3 with that. I thought that might have been a bit higher. Airport beer at 4 and the shower beer at 5. Thoughts?
Well, the beer with the boys after golf, the jug, that probably would have been 2. I probably would have put the extra drink after work at 3.
Yeah. Fair enough, mate.
Fine with the other ones.
Solid list. Solid list. Do we want to do sauces or we want to wrap it up there?
Well, how are we gonna do it? Who's doing it?
We can. How about we go one at a time? I'll say the sauce. Simon goes. Hayden goes. So you're either gonna mess each other's list up. We'll see how that goes.
All right, we'll do one together, mate. Or how about this? Nah, yeah, just do it like that. Never mind. Just do it like that.
All right, we're gonna start with the sauces. Let me open that one up. In the sauces, who's gonna start? Hayden or Simon?
Hayden, you're up.
Yeah, I'll start. And I'll start. This is number 5, right?
No. So you can draft it whatever you want. I'm just gonna tell you the sauce. You put it where you think it should go.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Ketchup or tomato sauce. Sorry.
Tomato. That is gonna be. It's gonna be a number 5. It is just a staple.
Number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Controversial, I know.
Controversial. See how Simon feels like that when he's got eggs with no ketchup on them.
Can I just ask? Are these we're not going back and forth?
Yeah, you're going back and forth.
Oh yeah. Can I just ask though? Are these going to be specialty sauces or are they just going to be generic sauces?
These are whatever sauces I wrote down yesterday night after having a bottle of wine. Is what they're going to be. Okay.
So like you're not going to put some like hot sauce from.
Oh no brands. It's generic. There's no like Heinz ketchup or it's just.
No. I just mean like in Hot Ones, right? Like they have.
Oh yeah.
Different types of spicy stuff. Like okay, yeah.
No. All right. So coming in second, we're going to go with hot sauce.
Am I going to rank ketchup or?
No, you're ranking hot sauce.
Okay.
It's a cracker of a segment, boys. Well done.
I thought you'd say ketchup, then I'd say ketchup, then he'd go hot sauce, then I'd go hot sauce, and we'd have different orders. But
we could do that if you want.
No, that's what. If we're not, we can keep going like this. Hot sauce for me, number 1.
Number 1 for you, hot sauce.
Yeah.
Where would you put ketchup then, mate? We'll do it that way.
Probably a 3.
3. Yep. Hayden, where would you put hot sauce?
Probably like a 2.
Like a 2. All right. I'll have you know that I wrote tomato sauce for Hayden and ketchup for Simon, just to keep it regional.
Appropriate.
Yep. Coming in third, we've got honey mustard.
6.
So it's I'm assuming you're putting that in the 4.
Yeah, sure.
Simon?
Not a big fan whatsoever.
What do I got? I got 1 and 3. I'll put that
3.
I'll put that 5.
Put that 5.
Yeah, 5.
Ooh, tough choices. Coming in next, we've got barbecue sauce.
4.
Yeah.
4.
4 for you?
I think I've got a 3 spare.
You got a 3 spare? You do have a 3 spare. So Hayden's got his number 1 sauce. And Simon, you got number 2 sauce. And coming in at number 1 and number 2 respectively is soy sauce.
Soy sauce is good.
Yeah,
Soy sauce is a very versatile sauce.
Wow.
I'd say soy is an underrated sauce, if anything.
I love soy sauce. I love soy sauce. So we've got Hayden's list. We've got soy, hot, barbecue, honey mustard, tomato. Simon's got hot, soy, ketchup, barbecue, honey mustard.
Solid list.
Solid lists. Solid segment. Everyone loved it. Awesome. Do we have our outro music, Hayden? Hold on, let me get my outro music ready.
Outro music?
Yeah, hold on. I've got it. We've gone and got some outro music made for the pod.
Beetlejuice sound bites?